Hello and welcome to my channel. Say hi to a happy day. In this channel, I would like to share tales and stories I personally picked and or my kids' favorite book stories. Let's enjoy listening while I read to you a book. What if the government gives everyone enough money to live on? Giving everyone enough money to live on was the great radical dream of the Great Depression in the 1930s, and the result of a strange mixture of socialism, a hatred for the banks, and a fondness for the medieval guild system. It was known as social credit and was the brainchild of British engineer Clifford Hugh Douglas, who warned that there wasn't enough money in the world to pay back all the outstanding debts. He wanted the government to stop banks from creating money and to create instead in the form of a basic income for every citizen, credited to their account every month, which would be trickle up the economy rather than trickle down as it was usually supposed to do. By the 1930s, Douglas was able to fill stadiums with his supporters, especially in Australia and Canada. An estimated 90 million tuned into his radio broadcast in the USA, and 2 Canadian states elected social credit administrations. A social credit administration stayed in power in Alberta until 1971, prevented by the courts from pushing through their promised $25 dividend per person a month. In Britain, a breakaway wing of the Boy Scouts known as Kibo Kift formed itself into the Social Credit Party, marched in green uniform as the Green Shirts. The party wound itself up in 1950, by which time the social credit movement had begun to be taken over by cranks and extremists, as radical movements so often are. Social credit never happened, and Douglas died, embittered in 1952. Since then, there have been various attempts to create a basic citizen's income, paid for out of taxes, and enough debate to be able to guess what might happen if it were introduced. First, taxes would be extremely high. Second, there would be a huge gulf between citizens who receive the money and illegal immigrants or non-citizens who didn't. Third, there should be major savings in the welfare and tax system. Fourth, the whole salary system would have to change. If you had to persuade people to get out of bed to do jobs such as cleaning and garbage collection when they already had enough money to live on, those salaries would have to go up considerably. More recently, governments have tried to use the welfare system to top up salaries to a basic income level. And here there is a famous historical precedent: Speen Hamland. This was a welfare system devised by magistrates in 1795 in Spinhamland, Berkshire, southern England, to tackle poverty caused by high bread prices. The system topped up the wages of poor families so that they could afford to eat, and effectively reduced malnutrition. Unfortunately, it also allowed farmers to go on paying wages that were far too low, which meant that the scheme became increasingly expensive to administer. In the years that followed, Spin-Hamland became a byword for economic inefficiency and was used by campaigners to create an alternative welfare mechanism and described as a universal system of pauperism. After the 1830s, the Spin-Hamland system was replaced by a network of workhouses in every parish for people who could not support themselves. So, there is the answer. If the government topped up wages to provide people with basic income, as they do in so many places around the world, the danger is that wages would be kept artificially low. Then again, if they simply paid a basic income to everyone, it might set people free to be and do what they most wanted. Yet, it would only work if it was affordable, if the money in the economy was kept steady, and if people could be persuaded to do the dirty jobs that nobody wanted. I hope you enjoy listening to What If the Government Gives Everyone Enough Money to Live On. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to listen to more of our favorite book stories. See you soon!